Yo, what is good, YouTube family? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about how to cut your losing trades fast, how to cut your losers, because this is like almost number one. Number one rule in trading is to not hold on to your losses and let them run. That is an awful strategy because you will never make enough profits to come back from those types of losses. So it's super important that you actually cut your losses and you don't become a long-term investor whenever the trade doesn't go according to plan. Oh, well, maybe in a week it's going to come back. Maybe in a month it's going to come back. Eventually it's going to come back, right? So let me just hold on to it. No, dude, that's not going to work. But it's all right, because today we're going to be talking about how to cut your losses, right? And part of it is just psychological. Actually, a lot of it's psychological. It's just the fact that people don't like admitting when they're wrong. And when you cut your loser, when you cut a losing trade, when your stop loss gets hit, you were wrong. You were wrong about the trade. It didn't go according to how you thought it would. And most people have a hard time accepting that. Most people cannot wrap their brain around the fact that you can be wrong on one trade, but you're still a good trader or an amazing trader. You can be wrong on one trade and you can still become a millionaire from trading eventually. Well, it's not going to happen overnight, but you can be a good, consistent, profitable trader and still lose a trade. And if you don't think that that sounds right, well, you're not going to make it. You're just not. Well, and I can't blame you. There's so much shit out there on social media about trading that's just not true. Part of it is some people push this idea so that you buy a course. They push the idea, oh yeah, I win usually 90% of my trades. I usually win 95% of my trades. And if you want to learn how to do the same thing, then buy my course. But if you don't have that high of a win rate, you're a bad trader. That is such bullshit. The best traders that I know, and that you probably know, some of the most famous traders that have made millions and even billions of dollars, they win maybe 50% of the time. They're wrong half of the time, and they're still making money consistently. So it's not about win rate. Win rate, I actually have a video about this. I talked about it for like 30 minutes or something. Go ahead and, after this video, take a look and about why your win rate doesn't matter. And so this all comes back to taking your losers and understanding that it's okay to take a loss. I think most of it is an ego thing, and I was the exact same way. I was misinformed about trading when I started out. I thought if I took a loss, like I was really sad if I took a loss. I thought, oh man, I'm not gonna make it, because I saw some of these people, they were saying they won 40 trades in a row, and looking back on it, they kind of seem like they might be frauds, but just to push a course, but whatever. Basically, I thought that you had to win most of your trades. You had to win 80-90% or else you weren't going to be successful. And then along the way, I just started consuming more content, listening to more people, podcasts, books, whatever, and just through experience, I learned that, it's okay to take losses. And very quickly, once I shifted my mindset to thinking statistically, once I shifted my mindset to how big are my winners, how big are my losers, and that will tell you how much you need to win. And in some cases, that could be 40%. In some cases, you can win 40% of the time and still be actually very profitable. How is that possible? Well, that comes back to cutting your losers quick, so keeping your losers small, and holding on to your winning trades. So if your loser looks like this and your winner looks like this, well, that's profitable. And if you win 40% of the time, that's still profitable. So I think it's really about ego. So if you remove the ego and you just think in terms of, I want to make money consistently trading, right? That's the goal. And it kills me because so many people do the opposite of what gets them towards their goal. They do the exact opposite. And it doesn't make any sense. But it's just because the brain is tricking you. Trading's weird. Trading is one of the only professions where You have to ignore your emotions. You have to ignore what your brain is telling you to do in order to be successful at this job, which makes no sense. But that's how trading is. Your brain, when you're in, when you're in a loss, when you're in a losing trade, and maybe you're down 1%, you're down 50 pips, whatever it is that you set to be where you get out. People don't admit they're wrong. Maybe they were really confident in the trade. They were waiting for this setup for a week, and they just don't want to admit it. They're like, okay, it's going to come back. I know it's going to come back. That is, you're never going to be successful. And yet, people still do it, but they want to be, professional, long-term, consistent traders. So you have to fight your brain. You have to fight what your brain is telling you, and understand, dude, the best traders in the world lose half of the time. Get rid of the idea and the ego that you have to win every trade, or 90%. You really don't. You can win half. So once you understand that, then it's okay taking a loss. It's like, all right, whatever. Just there's a small loss. I just gotta hold on to my winners, and everything's gonna be fine. So yeah, guys, it's really just telling your brain, no, we were wrong, and that's okay. We're not going. Maybe it's gonna reverse from here. It doesn't matter. I need to follow my rules, because without following your rules, you're never gonna make it. Also, guys, if you are enjoying this video, do hit that subscribe button for more content like this. And if you gain any value, please give it a thumbs up, because that really helps the YouTube algorithm. And who knows, maybe, when I hit a certain number of subscribers, there might be a certain course giveaway. So make sure you are subscribed for that. But anyways, guys, if you struggle taking losses, set a stop loss order. Do not set a mental stop loss if you do not have the discipline to follow it. When it hits that level mentally that you're like, okay, I'm going to get out, and you don't have the discipline to get out, don't do that. Don't do that. Set a actual order, stop loss, so that you don't have any control. If it hits that, you have to get out of the trade. It's just going to do it for you. So and don't move it. Some people do that, and then they keep moving it lower if they're going long, or if they're going short, they keep moving it higher as it goes into a loss. Don't do that. So set a good placement and don't touch it. Don't move it. Just honestly don't even look at it. If you're using a strategy where you don't have to constantly monitor the trade, set your take profit, set your stop loss, and the stop loss is more important than the take profit. Set your stop loss and walk away. Walk away from your computer, your phone, whatever it is, and wait an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, a day. I don't know, it depends on your strategy. Obviously, if you're really short term, you can't wait a day for the most part, unless you have a set take profit. Then you can literally just walk away and make money or lose money. It doesn't matter. It's up to the market, right? So watching it is really only going to add to your anxiety, and it's going to make you, if you see it's going into a loss, they will get stressed out, anxiety is going to start to kick in, and they're going to move it. They're going to move it. They're going to be like, oh, it's getting close. I'm going to move it. Because you don't want to take the loss. Because every loss means you're further away from your goal. And, obviously no one wants to be further away from their goal. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. You're not further away from your goal by taking a loss. In fact, you might be even closer to your goal. Because you can learn from the loss, right? Sometimes you can learn from the loss because you did something wrong, or maybe, just it adds to your experience, which, in turn will help you be a better trader. Number two is, and also, by the way, going back to that point, sometimes you can't learn from every loss. If you followed your system and your strategy, and it doesn't have a 100% win rate, which almost no strategy does, and if it doesn't have a 100% win rate, then sometimes you did everything right and you still took the loss. That's what some people need to understand. You can do everything right and still take a loss. That's why risk management is key. That's why it's important to not get so beat up when you take a loss. Because if your strategy wins 50% of the time and it's profitable, you're still going to be making money. Maybe you lose 2-3 trades in a row. that could be all a part of your system. And you're like, okay, that's fine. It's all a part of the plan. So number two, taking a loss can get you closer to your goal instead of farther away from your goal, because you are following your system, your strategy. You are building that discipline, and like I said, taking a loss doesn't mean you're farther away, especially if you're managing risk. But also taking a loss, if you've calculated your strategy and maybe you win 50% of the time, taking a loss statistically means the next trade's a lot more likely to be a winner. So that's good news. So yeah, taking a loss is actually sometimes a good thing, and I've actually learned to like taking losses, because that means for me a winning trade is coming up pretty soon, right? Statistically, I mean, not always. If you take a loss and you win half of the time on your strategy, you've back tested it, forward tested it, whatever. If you take a loss and you manage your risk, then that means the next trade or the next two trades are more likely to be winners. So don't beat yourself up over a loss, and that all comes back to, don't be afraid to take a loss. Don't move your stop. Say your stop. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. And yeah. So anyways, I hope this video helped some of you guys out. It's purely psychological why people can't cut their losers fast. So yeah, just get over that mental barrier. Get over that ego, because a lot of it's ego. Like, I've talked to so many new traders, and they want a for sure thing. Like, this guy DM me like last night, I think, or 2 days ago, and he said, I don't know how to mark up my chart so that I have a for sure profitable trade. No one can do that. No one can mark up a chart and have a for sure profitable trade. People want the 100% win rate because their emotions aren't there yet. They can't handle taking losses emotionally. One, just because they're new and they think they need to win every time, and if they don't, it's bad, and losing money is bad, which it kind of is, but trading is not that way. And two, they are over-risking, and they just can't afford to take 2 losses or 3 losses in a row because their account's blown. And it just doesn't make any sense, because most people's goal, I mean, if your goal is to gamble, go for it, but then don't complain about losing money. If your goal is to be long-term, profitable, and consistent, then you can't blame anyone but yourself. If you can't cut your losers quick, it's all just battling the brain. What is your one goal you want to do? What is your one goal? And that is to become a consistent, long-term, profitable trader. Everything else you do that doesn't, go towards that goal, it's just hurting yourself. And yet people think they're helping themselves by holding on to their losers because they're not taking a loss, which means they're not losing money, which is good for the long-term goal, right? No, it's not. It's about a process. It's about 100 trades being profitable, not one trade being profitable. Because consistency and long-term is not dependent on one trade. It's dependent on 1,000 trades, So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments section why some of you guys have struggled taking losses, right? Maybe there's new things I haven't heard before. So anyways, yeah, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great week. I think I'm going to be posting this on Sunday probably. So yeah, let's kill this week, guys.